Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit Azabi here, back again with Haikyuu. We are on episode 11 of season 4, and in the last episode we got started with the national tournament, the spring tournament. And yeah, I mean, we've got Tsubakihara, who was our first opponent, obviously against Karasuno. They like wearing their headbands. They're all about serves, and they really like the idea of luck. So we'll see how that really comes around, if there is actually any true luck in their sort of play. Like, it will be interesting to see if their serves are like hitting the net and just going over, and things like that, if it actually does come into play. But who knows? We also got like some Shimizu backstory, and actually having her at the forefront a bit, which I actually like. And I feel like this show could have done actually more in the past to have her sort of, you know, do more, because I feel like the managers, you know, Shimizu and Yachi, kind of have been really put to the sideline. So it's nice seeing them get some screen time, and hopefully they get more, especially like in this, you know, coming season. So yeah. And yeah, Kageyama, he was struggling to adjust to sort of like the size of the space, but now that seems to be completely, you know, ratified. Like, he seems to be all right now. You know, I don't think he'll have any trouble anymore. They were also, like, Karasuno were like sort of lagging a bit behind, not really making up the gap in points. I think they were like three points ahead. Tsubakihara were. So, you know, but with Kageyama all right now, I think that's about to change. I don't know how they're going to deal with Hinata's and Kageyama's quick at all. They have never, like, you know, we haven't really seen them block anything really. Their receives seem to be all right, but they seem to be all about their serves. So we'll see how they handle the quick. But I mean, regardless, they're not going to beat Karasuno, are they? They're just not. It's not going to happen. So, you know, we'll see what happens in this coming episode 11. So yeah, the reaction itself will obviously be down there, and it'll be a bit transparent. It should be all right to see though. But if you do want to go watch the full length reaction, then you can do, with a link in the description below as well. There'll be, you know, it'll be a link to my Patreon page, where you can watch the full length. Of course, you have to be a full length Patreon in order to watch it, but the option is there if you do want to watch it at all. And then after this, you can go watch episode 12 and 13 right now over on my Patreon for early access as well. So if you know, once you're finished with this episode, if you want to go watch that immediately, then you can do. You know, and I believe those are the last two episodes. Until July, I think, where it picks up again for the second half of the season. So yeah, if you want to get access to those episodes right now, then you can do by going over to my Patreon and becoming an early access tier patron. Early access tier. I feel like I said that weird. But yeah, anyway, nothing else to really talk about, so we're going to get in episode 11 and see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. I love the grid. Can't handle it.
お待たせしてすみません。
They're not allowed.
今決めた日向翔陽の身長は164センチ。今大会のアタッカーでは最低身長です。すげえ、今のめっちゃ速い。
This is the shortest.
合宿の時と変わっちゃうやん。それにあれ何？
Ah, he didn't know about Hinata, did he?
カラスノが強くなることなんてないのかもしれない。なっても何年も先のことかもしれない。それでもチャンスが来たら。大佐。よし、ナイスレシーブ。沢村、うまくなったな。
It must have been the, like, I guess the previous third years.
気を取られるな。
I love dubs. I love when they do that.
さっき食べたゼリーがエネルギーになった感じがする。
Feeling it.
腹具合。
He's gonna get the serve. Ah, nearly.
セッターはサーブ直後。体勢が整わ。
He's still gonna get there. Oh my god.
影山君はですね、ユース19歳以下日本代表の合宿にも選ばれている期待の1年生なんですよ。
すげえやつ入ってんな。はい。
彼はあれほどの技術、センス、そして熱意を持ちながら、あるいは熱意のせいか、これまで大きく目立ってこなかった。でも
Now everyone's seeing him. Everyone noticing.
世界が影山君を見つけますよ。
10番やべえ、どうにかしないと。そう思った時点で向こうの術中だ。
Oh, they're noticing that he's a
我慢
decoy.
してリードブロック。いつもやってる戦いをしなさい。はい。
Fucking hell.
アイスレシーブ勝ちに来たんだ。
Jesus Christ.
10番下がるのは確かにホッとするけどね。こっちにとっては嫌なターンなのよ。牛若を止めたこのねちっこいブロックが前衛だもん。
Yeah, you got Suki to deal with now, mate. Nice. Shit in hell. It's quite the rally they've got going here. No one's giving it up.
コースはクロスに偏る。
Save the three. It's good straight.
ストレート。
A line shot, that's what it's called. Nice! See that?
出すぎた。
Well. Nice. He was reading the play. He was learning.
アタック。
Fucking hell, that was cool.
プッシュ。
And that was gonna get it. He's reading the plays. He's just not getting in the right positions.
また
Like,
出すぎた。
センター影山がファーストタッチ。月島。はい。レフト。東原さん。
月島は得意なことでなくてもそれなりにこなす。でもこれは少しのぎこちなさと最大限の丁寧。
なんか感動。
立派になったのは見た目だけじゃないな。そうっすね。手で取れよ。
cards he can hit.
いつもの野生的反射とかじゃなくて
Yeah, he's actually reading it.
読んでいた。
ナイスワッチ。シャンボー。後ろマイナス。
Oh, we did a back minus one. We haven't seen that one yet. Cool.
カラスの小さい10番空中で止まってるみたい。
レシーブは下手だけど攻撃は得意なんだな。
We increase your vocal a bit, Nishinoya. Mind you, I can't talk.
サーブミスんじゃねえぞ。
当たり前だ。
アウト。きた。やべえ。
Alright, they're switching out. Don't fuck it up now. Got two fucking jump floats there. Yeah, it's fucking up. Ah, God. I think they're getting time though.
そうだ。よく出してけよ。
I know the coach is always looking to say the subs. Like, see what they look at. The feeling. Will he get that final point? By a serve? Nah. Hit the fucking net. I was wondering if he was going to pull off an Oikawa there.
椿原学園1年生ピンチサーバー姫川葵を投入します。
Oh dear. He looks very nervous, but they're known for their serves. Might be faking it. Nah, they're going to get a point here. What's that? An underhanded one? They're known for their serves. If they didn't get a point here, I'd be disappointed. Disappointed. What? Oh my god, they did a fucking Shoyo in Kageyama. Well, that was not how I was expecting the first set to end. Even the small stream could become a great river. They're a very humble team.
俺に気使ったりしたらぶっ飛ばすぞ。どうせ次の試合からは俺が出るんだ。お前は少ないチャンスをどう生かすかを考えてろよ。
コートで最もメンタルのコントロールが難しいサーブというプレー。ミスをした時許してくれないのは仲間ではなく自分だ。
Yeah, you wouldn't forgive yourself. That's why Yamaguchi and whatnot, they're always you see it on their face all the time. Whoa. Fucking hell. Talk about using the height of the fucking but it coming back down, like how do you receive that? Like, was it the lights that put him off?
この天井は俺の味方。
God, that's fuck.
天井サーブ。かっけえ。
It's definitely something I haven't seen before. You had all that time! It's literally all the way up in the ceiling. You didn't have time to call for it. Cause the serve that you have the most time to figure it out. Right, nice. Jeez. Ah, shit, he's ready for that one. Bastard.
流れってものの根拠は知らない。でも
Just means you're on a roll.
それがこっちにあるんだろうってことはわかる。
That's exactly what momentum is. Oh, focus. Nice.
もう中盤が。でも両サイドも来てるし。
Which one is this?
バックレフトも。
Oh! Never mind.
全国。
Pressure is on.
3セット目の準備しとけよ。
はい。
I don't think it will. Nice. That's what they were working on their serves for. Go for a dump of himself, eh?
まだ帰るには早いでしょう。
Yeah. But where is Shima?
絶対僕のせいにした。
God. Nice, to keep it in, nice. What was that?
帰るにはまだ早い。これを決めたら勝ち。
Sugawara coming in.
山は
Yes.
通過点って言ったけど、俺はやっぱりとうとう来た
Come
と
on.
思っちゃうよ。あ、クリアだ。
Two setters all
や
at
るこ
once.
とは分かってる。
Go on, Suga. He's gonna win us the game here. Maybe not from the serve, but that was right. So that was that.
とレシーブ少し乱れました。
Not an easy serve.
寺止まり。高さもパワーもある。体の向きに正直なコースへ打ってくることが多い。
Nice.
完璧。
Woo!
一番丸山。
大きく弾き出した。しかし
Nice one, Suga.
ブロックアウトがうまい。でもフェイントの可能性も捨てない。
角が天国行った試合見てからカラスノに来るって決めてました。
They're all saying these guys, man. Look at them.
ナスが来たら掴めよ。
Nice. Yes, the back attack.
チャンスは
What they got from Negama.
準備された心に降り立つ。
Smash! Come on. First game over. Nice. The boys! Okay, episode 11, and we get past our first team of Suba, and of course get the win. I mean, that was was obviously going to happen, wasn't it? I mean, no disrespect to that team, because I think I said during the reaction, I think they're a very humble team, and I think that goes by their banner. I talked about it wrong, actually. I think was it in the pre-discussion? Or it might be in the post-discussion for last episode. I talked about how the whole thing was like look, and I said it was on their banner, but it wasn't. That was the like a team chant that the audience, like their fan base was chanting. But on the banner itself, it said even small streams can become a great river, or something like that. So I think, yeah, it's very apparent that Suba as a team are very, like, you know, humble, sort of, in the fact that, like, it may be just the case that their prefecture doesn't host, like, powerhouses like such as is it the Miyuki prefecture where we're from, Karasuno and whatnot. They don't have like teams such as like Seijo or like as like good as Shiratorizawa, things like that. You know, which is something that they were talking about in episode 10, about how, like, you know, all of us here beat powerhouse teams to get there, and I said something like it depends on the level of powerhouse. Like in your prefecture, the best team in your prefecture might not even beat like a mid of the range team in another prefecture, for example. You know, so yeah, I think they're a humble team, and I don't know which prefecture they were actually from. You know, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was like from a very sort of like out of the way, like in the like far into the countryside somewhere, you know, like away from the big cities. That's the kind of feeling I sort of get from them. So yeah, maybe like a sort of like a working class, very big like working class area of Japan, maybe. So yeah, I did quite like them. So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just start from the very beginning. So Miyu Atsumu decided to turn up. Well, of course, I mean, I guess he'll be playing in it, right? I'd assume. But yeah, he was watching from the like up on the rafters. And we're seeing obviously the change in Kageyama he'd seen from previous when he was in the, you know, the training camp with him. And then his eyes immediately gazed towards Hinata, wondering who the hell was that. So yeah, very good, very good. I would have thought maybe they would have sort of researched a bit on Karasuno, like specifically him, because obviously him, like he had that whole thing with Kageyama in the training camp, that maybe he would have actually looked at maybe something and understood who Hinata was. Because let's be honest, you can't watch a match with Karasuno and not know about Hinata, right? I mean, he's just there. They're like, you know, they also talked about how everyone's recognizing Kageyama, but also like just Karasuno in general. But yeah, I think obviously the focus there was, you know, everyone was recognizing Kageyama because of like really how good he is, but because he was who was it? Was it Takeda? Basically saying like how because he was so passionate or whatever, that may have been a case of why he kind of went under the radar. I think the idea that was, because I had to think about it for a second, but I think the visuals in the background actually sold what he was trying to say there, which was essentially like he was so passionate that he forced the team that he was playing with that weren't good enough to try and hit his sets, and they couldn't. And because of that, they didn't reach great heights, and therefore the exposure for Kageyama wasn't really there. But now he's with a team that they can get to those kind of heights. Like everyone's now noticing him, you know. So really cool. The commentators as well, they did point out that Hinata was the shortest hitter out there today, and today's lineup specifically. So at first, when they first said that, I thought like it meant like across the whole board, like he's the shortest hitter out of every single person playing in the tournament. But seeing, as he said, today's lineups, I have to assume that, you know, because they're not going to play how many games, like 22 fucking different matches in a day, are they? It's just not going to happen. So, I mean, more than that, wouldn't it? It would be like 23 matches, I'd imagine. So, yeah, I think it was just out of the matches that we're heading up to today, which would, I guess, would assume that what's his name is not playing today. I'd assume he's there. The guy who was at Kageyama's training camp, the guy who was like really short and he likens to Hinata, Hoshiomi. Though I guess they never really like said what they, like how tall he was. Literally, he was kind of short, so it could be still a thing of like he's taller than Hinata, but just kind of thing. Could be that, or he could just not be playing today, or he could just not be in the tournament at all. Because wasn't there a thing of like Hoshiomi doesn't play for like a powerhouse school, like he doesn't play for like all that big a team. I don't know, but he's just like an awesome player, just playing in a very like an average team. I think there was something that was said about that, so I don't know. They may not even be in the tournament at all, but I'd imagine there would be. I mean, why else would you put him into the story if he wasn't gonna like crop up? So there must be, but it could be another thing of like they're from a prefecture that's not as highly rated as the other prefectures, so similar to like Suba, but I don't know. We'll see. So I had Hinata, who was receiving. I mean, listen, right? You can't. He's just learning how to receive, right? He's got the information thing that he learned from the youth camp that he was going to, of how to receive, and he was getting it. It wasn't as much as like training how to receive, because I still think like he's still trying to he's trying to still get that down, but it's still not bad. Like, you've got like people in the audience like basically laughing at how bad he is at receiving, but at the end of the day, he's keeping the ball in play, and that's all that matters. Doesn't matter how you do it. The good thing is that he's reading the game so that he knows, like, he's basically perceiving where the ball's going to be when he gets there. Now, he's going a bit too far ahead, and I don't think it's just because he's too fast, he can't stop himself quick enough. It's more of a case of like, well, I'll get here and I'll keep the ball in play. The thing is because his receiving technical ability isn't that good, if he had have been in the right position, I don't think he would have received it well enough, and possibly wouldn't have kept the ball in play. He needs to obviously work on that like sort of receiving aspect of it, and I'm sure at some point in this tournament he'll pull it off. But at least he's keeping the ball in play, so it's cool to see that, obviously, and whatnot. Also, seeing the previous third years who obviously come to see Daichi, Asahi, well, obviously Karasuno, but mainly it's the whole thing with Daichi, Suga, and Asahi, right? Because Karasuno just couldn't, like, when those third years were there, like, they couldn't really like keep up, and when the current third years were first years and whatnot, and they came in, it's nice to just like go back and see where they are now, and especially like the previous third years, like actually like seeing that play out is great. And obviously that that image at the end where you have them all playing on the court at the same time. And I'm always happy when Suga gets game time, and I like the fact that they do this thing where they do have two setters on the field, like not the field, on the court at once. It's really cool because it just opens things up for like really awesome plays, like things that you just never would like sort of consider. But the thing is that with Suga is that he's such a smart player. Like I can't believe I forgot, because he did that whole serve thing in a previous match where I was like, I mean, I said it in this episode, I said like, oh, he's the one that's like got like the easy serves, but it's not. Like, his serves are, I guess the technique of the serve is like the easiest one. It's the one where you just you hit it up and you just tap it over the top, as opposed to like smashing it or jump float serving it, or the underhand one. It's very just like sort of straightforward, but he puts it directly in a place where it basically causes the opposition to have to maneuver around each other, and he purposely puts it in that spot so it would cause that kind of issue for the opponents, which is like a very smart play. But also like just knowing the individual players, like generally in terms of like when you see teams in there, like, right, well, just I guess look out for this player because he's obviously the most obvious one. Like they'll basically just say like, keep an eye out for number 10, Hinata, and watch out for their quick plays. But like Suga knows the ins and outs of the individual players and how they're how like the chances of their the chances of them reacting in a certain way and doing certain things. He knows all about those. So he's a really good player to have on the court. So yeah, it's always good to have Suga on the court. What else we had? I guess we'll talk about the underhand serve. So fucking hell, like using the using the gymnasium like to your advantage because of the lights, by smashing it up that far. Something I wasn't expecting. With an underhand, like, God. I mean, fair enough. It's a great technique. It's not against the rules, you know what I mean? It can be done. But yeah, I never thought I'd be seeing an epic underhand serve where they draw it like, speed lines and the art, like, those are the best. The specifically like the serves. Aikawa had some good ones. I think Ushijima had some. But yeah, they're really cool. And yeah, just smashing it up into the ceiling so that it would, you know, they would have to look up into the beam of the lights in order to try and receive it. I still can't believe Daichi and Asi could not figure out who was going to receive that ball. Like, you're talking about the one serve in this show that you could have all of the time in the world to figure out who. Right, it's coming this way, right? I'll have it. Can't believe it. Mental. I guess they were just so stunned at the fact of, like, this is a serve? This is what we're dealing with? I don't know. Weary Shima. Where did that come from? Kageyama, man. Honestly, he's going nuts. Going crazy. And yeah, I really loved that Suba spike switch out as well. Like, if you don't know the one I'm talking about, because it was, like, really kind of, like, out of nowhere. There was a moment where they went for a spike. I think it was a back spike, so it was like, you know, the guy in front was acting like he was going to get it, but in reality was coming back over, and the guy behind them was going to spike it. But the way that they animated it was like the guy who was in front, who was like sort of acting as the decoy in that moment, sort of like faded and dissipated out while the back attack like came in at the same area, which was like just a really cool sort of visual. The way that they did it, you know, because obviously we know that it's you know, it's just a visual. It really didn't just disappear into thin air. But I love the fact that they're able to do that, and you're just able to associate the fact that it's not like it's a stupid, like, mad crazy anime ability that this guy's got that he can just fade into thin air, but that, you know, I like that they're able to do that, and you understand how they did it, you know, like you understand the general gist of, you know, how they did that sort of back attack. So yeah, really cool, really cool. And yeah, I'm wondering who that next sort of opponent's going to be, and if we're finally going to get to see this bracket. For God's sake, I just want to see it, please. But yeah, that is all I've got. So thank you everyone for watching. If you want to gain access to episode 12 and 13 right now, you can do by going over to my Patreon and becoming an early access tier patron, and you can get access to them right now and just go watch them. You can also get access to the full-length tier patron access tier. If you do want to watch any of these in full length and not just the 10-minute cut footage right here. And there's also there's other tiers where you can pay to have a show react to as well. So if you want me to react to a show, go over to those tiers and see what they offer. And there's also a link to Discord in the description as well. If you want to get over there, ask questions, then feel free to do so. But yeah, that's all I've got. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.